Smiley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Saturday, November 30th. So we have the moon shifting out of Scorpio energy, going void, of course, at 1:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're locking into Sagittarius energy at 6:54 a.m., and this is going to put us in the new moon window. We do have the new moon in Sagittarius popping off here on December 1st. And so because this is the last day of the month, because we are wrapping up the life lessons that, of course, we've been learning throughout the course of November. First of all, I'm going to invite you to go back, take a listen to November's energy forecast, that overview that I put out at the beginning of the month, to just see how your month chalked up. Now, again, we're in this new moon window. It is the dark phase of the moon. We are sitting in the dark, sitting in the funk in order for us to realize what needs to end in order for a new beginning to actually take place. That's what a new moon is all about. We have to be illuminated to what isn't working, what we no longer want to do, what we no longer want to experience. And from that, create a framework on what it is that we would prefer to do instead. And that becomes the seeds that we are going to plant under this new moon energy that we're going to eventually execute upon and bring forth the plan, the structure, the strategy to chase our dreams, to really kind of achieve our goals and bring these new aspects into the physical form. So I'm about to just take a moment and rattle off all of the things meaning there is a December energy forecast out there for your listening pleasure that you can go ahead and dive into so that you understand the month that we are about to have. There are zodiac forecasts that I have released for everyone. They are public this month. And those are little mini readings for all of the zodiac signs on what to expect, what the highlights are for the month ahead. Go ahead, listen to them as well. There are December energy guides specifically tailored to your zodiac sign to help you stay in alignment with each and every single astro shift that we got going on here in the final month of the year of 8. This is test time. This is tying up loose ends time. This is a beautiful opportunity for you to get ahead of the game. So I'm going to recommend that you do all of those things and then listen to the forecast that I put out for this new moon in Sagittarius. And of course, download the moon guide that accompanies this particular energy shift as well. There's a lot going on. We are kicking December off with a huge bang, having this new moon in Sag kind of, lead the charge, so to speak. And we have got to stay ahead of the game. But here today, we are going to be wrapping up November. We are going to be transitioning into a more positive, more optimistic mindset. Again, we are in exploration mode and experimentation mode, trying to bridge the gap from what it is that we realize need to die in Scorpio season and what it is that we want to build and create and bring to life that we will do in Capricorn season. This Sagittarius season and the energy of the new moon in Sag going to help get us focused on the goal, on the target, on what absolutely needs to be done. So there's going to be a lot of pressure in the cosmos here today as we're wrapping up this particular cycle and moving into a new one. There are 8 different aspects popping off here today. 6 of them are going to involve the moon. We have the moon still in Scorpio energy at this point, trining, making a beautiful interaction with Neptune, who is retrograde in his rulership in Pisces energy. This is water on water action. Water helps to cleanse us, purify us from the junk, from the gunk, especially emotionally speaking. Then it helps to refresh and renew our soul space, our spirit, our hopes, our wishes, our faith. Because Neptune is involved, this is strengthening our intuition. This is receiving intuitive guidance and insight about what needs to change and transform, because of course, that's what the Scorpio energy is all about. This is the last aspect that the moon in Scorpio makes before going void, of course, which again takes place at 1:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We sit in that void, which is shaky, unstable, uncertain until 6:54 a.m. again Eastern Standard Time. That's when the moon shifts into Sagittarius energy. And the transition from Scorpio energy to Sag energy is always a welcome one because Sag energy is a fire sign. It helps to evaporate the emotional weight that we were carrying through that Scorpio transit. It helps to kind of hold the light at the end of the dark tunnel that is that Scorpio energy. And it is optimistic. It's positive. We're kind of wearing rose-colored glasses. We're focused on all of the good instead of being focused on all of the bad. So it's definitely a positive shift in our mood and in our attitude. 7:18 a.m., again, Eastern Standard Time, we're then going to have the moon, now fresh in this Sag energy, sextiling, which is a beautiful interaction, with Pluto, the great transformer, who is in Aquarius energy now. And so the fire energy from Sag, the air energy from Aquarius, again, sparks, combustion, aha moments, vision, insight. There's all kinds of things happening here. And the major change, the major transformation is in our inner realm where we're feeling a little bit more hopeful, a little bit more wishful, a little bit more positive about our situation and what is to come. 9:34 a.m., we have Mercury, ruler of the mental plane, currently retrograde in Sagittarius energy, making a very uncomfortable interaction with Mars, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires, even our anger, who happens to be in Leo energy, the heart and soul of the zodiac. This is going to make us a little bit nervous, okay? We have a little bit of a nervous energy, anxiety energy, restless energy taking over. We're definitely on edge. We have a lot of energy bouncing around, not only in our physical body, but in our headspace. There's like a nervousness. It could be a nervous, anxious type of mood or attitude, or it could be a nervous, anticipating, excitement type of mood. Either way, we're kind of jittery, so we have to watch out for that. We also have to watch out for the fact that we verbal vomit big time with, Mercury and the Sag energy. And because Mars is here, he kind of runs on impulse. So we have to watch that we're not verbal vomiting and kind of reacting to situations too quickly. A lot of the communication styles could be very pressured. There is this intensity, this aggression, this frustration that kind of arises when these two are interacting in this way. It's not the most favorable way. So things are tense. We're overstimulated in a lot of ways. We want to take action and make moves that, of course, we can't make right now. There's this kind of feeling that we're rushing things. And, impatience is definitely the name of the game here. And we can feel that impatience within ourselves. We can feel it from other people, and we can sense it in conversation. It's almost like we just need to hurry up and get things over with. And that could definitely lead to some hurt feelings if we're insensitive with what it is that we're saying with our pressurized speech. And of course, we're all going to have a little bit of mental tension because Mercury is involved. And so it just feels like if we're not careful, if we're not in power and control over our thoughts, over our emotions, over our energy, we could definitely be making a mess that definitely doesn't need to be there. So cautionary note for that. So this takes place at 9:34 a.m. The next aspect that we have is at 3:04 p.m. So that's a huge chunk of time that we're kind of sitting in that jitteriness, in that pressurized state. So we want to be very, very cautiously aware of our own damn selves at that particular juncture. Now at 3:04 p.m., we have Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, and money, in this Capricorn energy, of course, thinking about her long-term happiness, her long-term joy, her safety and security where relationships and money matters are concerned. We have Venus making a positive interaction with that North Node in Aries energy, which is trying to get us on the right path to reach our soul's mission, our soul's potential. We're thinking about options for change, for improvement, for growth, for evolving. We're definitely thinking about what needs to change in our day-to-day lives, in our physical form, in our routines, relationships, money matter dynamics. Basically, if you had to be living the life that you're living now for the rest of your life, would you be happy? And most of us are going to answer no. And if the answer is no, what would you like to see change? This is where our minds and our heart space have to be at. And so the moon then goes ahead and makes a harsh interaction with Chiron. Chiron's the wounded healer, and he's retrograde in Aries energy. And so whatever it is that we just realized, oh my goodness, I don't want life to stay like this forever. Oh my goodness, I need to change this right now, because I would hate for this to be something that I'm still experiencing a year, 2, 3, 5 from now. Suddenly we're overwhelmed. Suddenly we are kind of resisting even thinking about where we're unhappy, where we're discontent. Suddenly we are focused on the wounds, and it's a problematic situation because the moon in Sag, typically speaking, is super positive. And so Chiron being aspected in a negative way, he's bringing up all the wounds. And so this is where we lose our positivity. This is where we lose our confidence. This is where we lose those rose-colored glasses. And this is where, again, we start focusing in on where we're not feeling so safe, so secure, where we're not feeling like we're able to obtain or achieve the goals in which we're trying to iron out at this particular juncture. The moon is going to trine, beautiful interaction, with the North Node in Aries energy. And this is happening literally like 20 minutes later. So we're not sitting in that funk for very long. And the trine means, again, that we're working with like-minded elements. This is fire on fire. And fire burns away the funk and the gunk and the junk. And then it rejuvenates us. And then it reignites the spark, the fire, the flame. And because the North Node is involved, we're thinking about our future, the options and opportunities that we have to grow, that we have to evolve, that we have to make improvements, that we have to change, that we have to transform, but we're not overwhelmed and scared about it anymore. We're actually rising up to the plate, rising up to the occasion, to boss up, to do better, to be better. The moon in Sag then going to trine, another beautiful interaction, with Mars, the god of war, in this Leo energy. So again, fire on fire action. This is going to help us get heart aligned. We're feeling the passion. We're feeling the desire to take action and make moves. And this should illuminate what we actually care about, where the very limited F's that we have left to give, where they are gathering in a bucket, and where we are taking this bucket of F's to give, and we are channeling it into the actions that we want to take in order to make changes, in order to see improvements. And although we're not able to take action and make moves at this particular juncture, we're building and cultivating the inner spark, the inner fire, the inner flame. And that is a beautiful thing. The last thing that we have going on here today is the moon in this Sagittarius energy semi-squaring, which is not so favorable, with Venus. Venus, of course, in this Capricorn energy. So a lot of this is just the tension, the conflict is about the fact that the moon in Sag, again, we are focused on the big picture. We're focused on dreaming the biggest dream possible, but sometimes, especially in the Sag energy, we get carried away. Again, Jupiter is in his rulership over Sag energy, and it's a little bit extra, it's a little bit dramatic, it's a little bit over-exaggerated. And so what happens is sometimes in the Sag energy, we dream too big of a dream, and then the Capricorn energy comes along and smacks us down a couple of pegs and brings us back down to earth and is like, okay, if you actually want to bring those dreams, goals, visions in life, you better get logical and practical on what you need to build and create in your physical realm in order to actually have the space to bring these things to life. And so where relationships are concerned and money matters are concerned, because that's what Venus's priorities are at this particular juncture, we're very serious and semi-somber about, getting our mind right, getting our heart right, getting our ducks in a row. And then you got the moon and Sag over here trying to herd a whole bunch of ADHD squirrels. So you can understand that the contrast and the conflict is becoming of the Capricorn energy that wants us to be logical, practical, down to earth with what needs to be done in order to clear the space out to actually build the structure that is going to house these great big goals, visions, and dreams that we're now having. And then you have the Sag energy over here just kind of spinning around in circles, wearing those rose-colored glasses and really thinking that as long as we can dream it, we can achieve it. The Capricorn energy knows better. It knows that we have to put a little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of physical action behind those hopes, wishes, and dreams if we want to bring them to life.